Hi and welcome to First Taste, the show where two white guys listen to some other white guys make music. I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris, and today we're listening to Spoon's new album, Hot Thoughts. Wonderfully useful utensil. Unfortunately, a band that I'm not too familiar with, though.
We just needed to get that out of the way, really. We had to make that
All
reference.
puns done now. Sorry, guys.
You've never listened to Spoon?
It's not that I've never listened to them, but this is their ninth album.
This is their
right?
ninth album.
Yeah, so I've listened to just about a tenth of their work. I'm fairly familiar with a series of sneaks. Songs like 30 Gallon Tank and Metal Detector, like really into those tracks. But honestly, like since then, just bits and pieces. Just never did my homework on Spoon, unfortunately.
Spoon is probably in my top 10 favourite bands. I've listened to, I think, about 5 of their albums out of 9.
A much better hit rate than mine.
A Series of Sneaks is actually not one of them.
Ooh.
Ga 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 is just an incredible album, and They Want My Soul is like up there as well. I think Spoon are easily one of the most consistent bands making music now.
That's certainly something that I've heard. Is it a fair assessment to say that they don't just rehash the same formula every time too? Is that why they go down so well, or...?
I feel like Spoon are quite similar throughout most of their discography that I have listened to.
Yeah.
They do spice it up a little bit, and they do always bring something new-ish, but they never have changed their sound drastically.
Okay.
But for some reason, they just continue to make good rock music. They're just so experienced by this point in time. The men are in their 40s, maybe even going on into their like late 40s, early 50s.
Crazy.
And they're just still making great music. Early 50s is probably pushing it. I've got some tea because I have to go to work in a couple hours and I don't want to be intoxicated on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a coffee from one of your favourite places.
Yeah, because coffee's good and it's a hot beverage and hot thoughts. And it's still actually really hot.
It's giving us hot thoughts.
So there's actually almost too many incidences of hot right there.
Let's just open some windows and go for it.
Title track first up.
Yes, this is actually the one song I've heard, and I like it. Britt Daniel. Britt Daniels? Britt Daniel? I don't know. Britt.
Get out, mate. That's great. That's really cool.
Always bringing something like new to the song. They don't rest much.
Production's terrific.
Oh yeah, they've mastered it by now.
It's just such a solid example of putting their best foot first already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a statement to put your title track first anyway.
Honestly, this starts off as strong as They Want My Soul does, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. What even is this title?
Whispers... Blur. As always, introducing a synth element.
Yeah.
I think it's taken them 9 albums to do it, but here we are.
Have they not had much synth up until this point?
No, I wouldn't say too much.
Is that Phil Collins?
I mean, they've gone for the total opposite direction for the second song, haven't they?
Yeah. It's not even halfway through this song, but yeah, it's an interesting change up for sure.
And there we go.
Okay, we're alright. Yeah.
Just really long intro.
That was really good. Didn't expect it to come in double time like that.
That guitar. Oh, yes, Britt! One of our mutual friends said that there should never ever exist a guitar solo in a song ever. And I disagree. Spoon.
This is an example of... Yeah, that's a good point. In these two songs, I feel like there's already been 5 memorable riffs, all clearly different and distinct.
They're so good with their riffs, honestly. Good stuff.
Nice.
Decent.
That slap back echo reverb is pretty ubiquitous already, pretty much on every layer of vocals, at least Britt's lead vocals.
No, the vocals are definitely my favourite part of this.
Yeah.
The rest of the song isn't doing too much for it, but I really enjoy that chorus. It's got a little bit of a rock and roll sort of feel to it. The music is totally different, but his vocals are white rock and roll, 50s. Whoa.
I like that.
That riff sounds like another one of their songs. Oh, what is it? Maybe The Beast and Dragon Adored or something?
Is it self-referential?
It might be. Or it's just very similar.
There are almost a few similarities to Damon Albarn in a way as well. I guess just with Britt himself. Only lightly, a tinge. I don't know. I'm still just trying to
Man, get Britt Daniels on the new Gorillaz album.
That would be sick.
I guess this song wasn't doing too much for me to begin with, but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. It's definitely not the strongest thing they've ever done, but...
Out of the 3, I think it's my least favourite right now, but that's not saying a lot. The first 2 are really good, and we've only heard 3 songs.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Whoa. Nice outro.
They love those abrupt ones at the disco. It's so weird. It's like so close to being Britpop, but then obviously not because they're like Texan. Exactly. This song most of all thus far, I reckon.
You think it's like a bit of a Blur vibe or?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but so immediately not as well. It's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Spoon song.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's Spoon.
Exactly. Yeah. That synth is so catchy.
Yeah. It's piano.
Piano or something.
I think it might be piano.
Yeah.
Oh, that's piano.
Yeah.
Or harpsichord?
Maybe? Well, I just thought Matt Bellamy was featuring for a second there.
Sort of reminding me of New York Kiss from They Want My Soul a little bit.
It's kind of like Kasabian-y as well. I guess that's
totally.
I guess that's what I mean by like the kind of like Britpop-y alternative kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is totally like Fire or something. Yeah.
This is like the first song so far that's kind of been dwelling on just one mood, I reckon. The rest of them.
The third song did it for.
It kind of previewed it a little bit.
The second? Yeah, no, the second song. Sorry.
Yeah.
The second song.
Before the second song broke. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It had that intro.
Yeah, this might do the same. This is so not Spoon though.
Yeah.
This is like Mute Mathy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Like for Spoon, I mean, I don't think it's interesting in general, but. Oh, that was such a beautiful transition from like interlude to actual song. Oh.
Set the mood so effectively.
Yeah. Oh. Like steel drum?
Mm-hmm.
I like it when it's used tastefully. Like, whenever steel drum is used, it's always like way over the top.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's nice to hear it used tastefully for once.
Gimmicky usually, pretty much, yeah. It's kind of funny because while the snare was part of the mix, it was almost like a sped up Sunday Bloody Sunday.
This is definitely the most unspoon song I've ever heard. It's definitely the most fork song I've ever heard. Ooh.
I dare say that's almost Red Hot Chili Peppers. The interaction between the vocals and that riff. The beat itself isn't all too funky. That's the only thing keeping it from being...
It's a little bit funky.
Yeah.
Oh, such a groove to this song.
Yeah, that melody is genius. Middle Eastern or something weird.
Yeah,
Goes will
it
whack.
does have like a sort of Arabic sort of progression to it, yeah. Yeah, really like I turn my camera on. I'm getting vibes from a lot of like their different music. Yeah. Maybe it's I'm too familiar with them.
Like then again, we just heard a song that couldn't be further from
Exactly,
self-referential.
yeah.
Lots of hand claps for sure.
Oh, all throughout the album.
I'm not that big on hand claps unless they're used either sparsely or interestingly.
It's not like they're trying to get the audience to clap along.
No.
That's the annoying bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. I hate clap-alongs.
We are white. We can't keep a beat, okay? We can't clap along. It's not possible. Getting early 2000s rock vibe.
Well, not as a dig or anything, and you would be almost the single most qualified person in the world to say it, but it's almost like Killers or something. I don't know. They're not the prime
There's
example.
nothing that's like really like grabbing me as Killers.
It's just, I guess it's more Coldplay or something, really.
Okay,
like Rush of Blood to the Head.
So far, I really don't think that they've been as strong as they have on other albums. I definitely think it's decent. They might be playing it a little too safe. While their riffs and melodies are good, they're probably not as strong as they have been. Yeah. And like normally I'd be like, that's expected. But because They Want My Soul was like so good, I know they've still got it in them.
I think the album up until this point has served as a pretty good picture of what they seem to be so effective at doing, which is having this really palatable sound, but it's still, I wouldn't say edgy. Edgy's not, like the connotations with the word edgy doesn't really sum it up. It's like engaging and different enough while still being palatable.
Yeah, and it's something that could totally be played on radio.
Yeah.
But still sound quite different. In the past, they've definitely done things that encourage you to go, whoa, this is really unique and cool. Like, I need to check these guys out. This is not that album.
So I'd argue if you're in it for the long haul, which they clearly are, I don't think every album needs to be that.
No.
So that's kind of mature on their part to just release something like this.
Here we go. I really saved this for the last.
They definitely draw you back in with numbers like this, eh? It's just like, and we're back.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, that's such an earworm.
Wow, a club banger.
Yeah.
Spoon, the club banger. Just want a great like remix of this. Yeah. Spoon riff at the end there. Cool.
That was great.
Ah,
Nice.
that's what Spoon's been missing. Saxophone. Oh, yes, please. Saxophone from the other side of the room.
Yeah, that's like 1 a.m. in a jazz club
Oh, yeah.
kind of sax. That's what
And
that
you're
is.
like, and you're right up the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on a table by yourself. And go. No. So I wonder if like it's one of them actually playing the saxophone or if it's sampled.
That'd
or
be
what.
super interesting, yeah.
I don't know.
At this point, it just sounds like you're listening to Bad, Bad, Not Good from a different room.
Yeah, exactly. I was wrong. That other track isn't the most unspooned
This is pretty
song
crazy.
they've ever done. This is the most unspooned song.
I agree, but mainly because that was almost a fully fleshed out drum solo.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to break into a beat or like resolve into a groove, but it just didn't.
Man, what is this?
This is bizarre. I'm certainly intrigued more than turned off, but it doesn't make it any less peculiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just confused more than anything at the moment. What? What spoon? I mean, this is nice.
I mean, this is the jazz club again.
Yeah.
We're back.
We haven't left. I don't feel.
We kind of haven't left. Just someone dropped a snare drum before.
Down the back stairs.
Yeah.
The previous band were moving on. This is really pretty. I'm loving the ambience of this. But I'm still just really confused.
How is this on the same album as Shotgun at this point?
But not only that, how do they immediately follow each other? Like,
yeah.
oh my goodness, I'm just...
End on that. That is.
I'm perplexed. That just, like, totally took me off guard. That last track was so out of left field.
Can it be out of left field if you've already left the field?
Yeah, no, I kind of get what
It's
you
as
mean.
if Shotgun was the last song on the album, and then
We
it was
just
like
listened to something-
also we have this song
Yeah, we were just...
called Us.
Don't get me wrong, I actually quite like that song.
It was nice.
And it was really nice, and I loved the
Soothing.
ambience. I loved the saxophone. I loved the synth, like, when it came in. It just didn't feel like part of the album.
It feels like it didn't resolve as an album because of it, because that being
I
the last
know.
song.
Shotgun was like, we've had the middle of the album, now we're ready for Act 3,
Yeah.
and it's getting fired up again. But it was essentially like the beginning and the end of that act, and then it just
It was
went
like,
all like... Felt like Stanley Kubrick film at the end, where it's just like 6 minutes of this like... This saxophone, it's like, 2001, where you just get like 20 minutes of going through the black hole.
Yeah.
So weird. It was definitely the most unspoon record they've made that I've listened to, because it had a lot more of those spacey sort of songs. Like there was that second track that took like a good half of the song before it like
That
came
song-
in with the... Also, wasn't there one other that was like kind of interlude-y, kind of instrumental... No, Pink Up. It was Pink Up.
Pink Up.
Again, that was super unspoony, and I think that would probably be the idea that maybe they were trying to go with Hot Thoughts. To me, had a bit of a Mute Math sort of feel. That's going to make sense to no one, but you guys should all check out Mute Math.
Yeah.
But I think because Mute Math does it so well, when Spoon tried to do it, it didn't quite live up to that. I'm glad that they were trying something different with it.
If it is a sample, it might be a statement track more than anything else.
You mean the saxophone?
Yeah. Like, if that is a member of Spoon playing the sax, that's even more weird.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, why don't they have
you
saxophone
played in
and all
this
their
band
other
for
stuff?
20 years.
And
then
now you whip it out?
This is you. Yeah, exactly. Whereas if it's sampled, maybe it's like an iconic sample and we just didn't recognize
that
it
we
or
didn't.
something. But either way, wow.
So, yeah, there was that aspect of the album, but then there was the other aspect of the album, which was much more traditional Spoon. Maybe not quite top of the game, but, really decent, good Spoon material that, like, fans of Spoon will enjoy.
Yeah, the guitar work from head to tail.
Yeah.
Tail referring to Shotgun, not us, because there's no guitar in that, I don't think, was, like, stellar.
And also, like, Britt Daniels' vocals,
Yeah.
just incredible as always.
Really cool.
I don't know, I think out of all the Spoon albums I've listened to, it's probably my least favourite. Maybe on par with, like, Transference. But I don't think that's typically bad. I still think they're one of the most consistent bands out there, and I don't think Transference is a bad album. I don't think this is a terribly bad album.
Again, I feel like I have to take Us away from the entire
I know.
because it was just so atypical.
My only criticism of it is that it's so out there that it does kind of leave you feel a little bit hanging after Shotgun. Great. Well, let us know what you thought of Hot Thoughts, and we will see you next time. Hopefully next week. Maybe. No promises. Bye.
Have you ever seen Spoon live? I was going to ask you, actually.
Yeah, I have. I went and saw them at in Brisbane at the Hi-Fi. Really good show. I really enjoyed it. They're just so good live.
Was that off They Want My Soul?
It was off the They Want My Soul, and I went by myself. I was a little bit late, but I just missed the support act. And nobody else was up the front. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so I went right up to the front, and there was a couple, like, other guys. There was 2 other guys right up the front. And they had just met each other as well for the first time. You know, we bonded over Spoon and then over other good music. And one of them asked the other one, "Oh, what's your favorite album of all time?" And he was like, "Oh, I think it's The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones." And the other one was like, "Oh, no way, that's my favorite album as well." And so they were bonding over, like, The Glow Part 2. And I'm like, at this point, I'd never heard of The Glow Part 2. I'm like, okay, I'll write that down. I'll check it out. And then they were like, "What's your favourite album of all time?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Hot Fuss by The Killers." And then they were just like,
"We're not friends with you."
Essentially, like, they totally disowned me. And like, oh, okay, that's like not a great pick. And like, really, I should have said like
incorrect.
Illinois.
You can't have an incorrect answer, but in that moment, you're wrong.
Yeah, they kept on talking about like The Glow Part 2 and like, you know, lo-fi music and that sort of stuff. And then they asked me, "Okay, so what's your favorite lo-fi album?" And I was like, this was a couple of years ago. I was like, I guess it's probably All Hail West Texas by the Mountain Goats. And they were like, "That's not a real lo-fi album." I'm like, what do you want?
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
Do you want me to answer the question honestly, or...?
He recorded it in his bedroom on a boombox.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear the tape grind.
Like a noise floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The entire time. He did all these things in one take. And, like, that's not lo-fi. It's like it's the epitome of lo-fi. I'm like, I don't get you. What they, like...
I just think it's always so funny when people try to pretend like they never had a phase where they listen to more accessible stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always so funny.
The first album I ever bought was In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. No, it wasn't. Go away.